Hey, it's Marie Forleo, and you are watching Marie TV, the place to be to create a business and life you love. And if you've ever wanted to run a business that's not only highly profitable, but that also makes a difference, you are going to love today's guest. Satya Skinetti is the founder and designer of Satya Jewelry. A philanthropist, yoga teacher, Reiki healer, Satya lives a lifestyle dedicated to giving back to the world community. The name Satya, meaning truth in Sanskrit, inspires each wearer to find their individual truth. Satya has built a devoted global following as she creates beautiful, inspiring, and meaningful jewelry that resonates with each customer's own personal journey. Satya's background in social work and passion for early childhood education sparked the creation of the Satya Foundation, a nonprofit organization that provides children all over the world with hope, change, and the opportunity to fulfill their destinies. Satya lives in New York with her twin sons and 2 dogs. Satya, thank you so much for coming on Marie TV.
Thank you for having me.
So I shared this when we first met. I adore you. I adore your jewelry. I've been such a fan for years. Back when Josh and I first got together, he would actually get me gifts for Christmas and my birthday that weren't Satya jewelry. And I'd always send them back to the store and say, you know what? If you want to make me happy, go to this store and get just one little piece of jewelry. I love everything they make. And I am so excited about our collaboration, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. But first, I want to learn about your journey because you went from being a social worker to being a yoga teacher to creating this incredible business. Take us back to those early days and tell us about how this came about.
Sure. I thought as a social worker, I was going to really make a big impact in the lives of children. And after a few years in the industry, I was like, "Ooh, it's just I wasn't making the changes. I didn't see the changes happening as quickly as I was hoping." So I started doing a lot of yoga, a lot of meditation, and just continued to open up my whole spiritual practice, and decided to take a little hiatus from social work, and I ended up in the Bahamas doing a 30-day yoga teacher training. And during those 30 days, so much unfolded. Not only did I tap into a lot of my own inner power, my own inner abilities to create and design, but at the end of the 30 days, they gave me the name Satya, and the name Satya is truth. So that evening, I had this dream, and it was so powerful. And it was one of those dreams where you wake up, you're like, where'd that come from? Who said that? And it basically said, you're going to design jewelry of all truths, Satya, and donate money to children around the world. And I was like, wow, that would be awesome. So I called one of my best friends at the time. I said, quit your job. I have an idea. I have a name. And within 10 days, we were incorporated, and I started the brand.
Satya, 10 days? That is so fast. So you guys got incorporated. Did you have doubts? I mean, you've never run your own business before, did you?
I didn't, not to this degree at least. I've always been a little entrepreneurial. My father has embedded that in me. But I think, one of the most powerful things is that we always have that internal dialogue that says, don't do it, or I need to do this before this happens. And it always stops us. So we're always waiting for one thing to happen before the next could. And I think that gets in the way of so much of what we can do. And I always correlate the yoga got me so fearless that I didn't have time to think and make that list of what I had to do before. So I came home, I was like, the plan's in, let's do it. And it was just nonstop. The first year we made a profit. My accountant was mad at me because she's like, wait, I can't even save your money. I'm like, but that's the power of fearlessness, intention to give back. I think there's a really powerful thing when you're trying to tap into what you want to do in your life. One, it has to come from your heart.
Right.
I think if you love what you do and your intention is pure, that the universe will open up every door possible.
Let's talk about that for a moment, because I think another really interesting aspect to your story, and something that relates to a lot of folks in our audience. So many of my folks want to make a positive difference in the world, and one of the ways that they'd like to do that is to give back to causes that they believe in. But I've often heard it's just like, oh, I'm not ready yet. I'm going to do that, when I make millions of dollars, or at some fictional point in the future when I'm more stable, or I can, or whatever. Your business has always had the philanthropy aspect baked into it. Was that something that just came to you in that dream? Was there any fear around that for you, or it was just, you know what, I want to do this. This is my path. We're going to make it happen.
Yeah, and I mean, I knew that one, jewelry, there was a really good profit margin in it at the time. So I was like, wow, we can take off a little snippet. So even incorporating it in the price. So I knew I was going to give that kickback. And, sometimes it doesn't even have to be monetary. I mean, I encourage even within the company, like, let's, all go do a volunteer thing together, or, around holidays, I mean, we gift, we're really good. All the schools in New York City get our gifts, our pieces for their fundraisers. So even, it doesn't have to be a monetary give back, but I think it's more the intention. Like, I want to create this business. I want to have a pure intention in mind. I want to enjoy what I'm doing. And then if I'd be so blessed, I'd like to give back to the community, or I'd like to help, I'd like to give back with it.
So let's talk a little bit more. Tell us about the Satya Foundation and who it serves and what the impact is.
Yeah, so it started out after I started the company. I started just going up to the Bronx and teaching yoga to kids. A friend of mine was the principal up in the Bronx, and he says, "Oh, I'd like you to come and teach yoga." So I started this after-school program, and I literally would get in the classroom with these little kids that were 10 and drinking Coca-Cola and potato chips. And they'd come in and they'd get on the yoga mats, and I'd watch them transform. And they'd go into their breath, and I'd see them close their eyes, and they'd go to this really safe place that I don't think they'd get to go to very often, even at home. And it inspired me so much. There was this one little boy, I'll never forget, his name was Anthony, and he would come into my yoga class after school, so it wasn't mandated, but he'd come in, and he'd even get kicked out of school every day. He'd always get in trouble. He was a little bad boy. Not really a bad boy, but he'd get himself in trouble. Do you know he'd sneak back to my yoga class in the afternoon because he felt safe there, and he was really good at it. Actually, he'd get into a handstand and just was phenomenal. So again, seeing that happen, I was like, I want to do a lot of work with around yoga and bringing that into communities that really need this tool, because it helped me so much. I wish I had it when I was in high school.
Yeah. And so part of the work is bringing that essential work to children all around the world and providing them with opportunities.
Yes. So I'm working with a couple of schools here in New York, but also we do a lot of work in India. There's 3 schools and orphanages that we serve, and I get to go see the kids every year. It's awesome. I teach them mala making. We do jewelry classes with them, so they're getting skills so they can really go out and become independent to some degree.
That's beautiful.
Have a skill, yeah.
So I love the story about the little boy. What about other stories that I know you must get around the jewelry itself? I know the meaning and the intention of your jewelry is so important. Yeah. Any one story come to mind?
Well, yeah, there's so many over the years, and they inspire me. Like listening to my customers and feeling what a piece of jewelry can do for you. These are little reminders, and a lot of, there's this one story where this woman emailed me and said her sister came down with cancer, breast cancer, and that they all went into my Bleecker Street store and bought the same necklace. And they almost created this little sisterhood, and they'd wear it, and they'd all go to her chemo together, and it was like this piece of jewelry that just reminded them that they were one, that they were doing this, they were on the journey together. And unfortunately, her sister passed, and she wrote me and just said, we're still wearing the piece, and it just reminds us of our sister and brings us together in that. So, I think we all need those little reminders sometimes to get us through things, to empower us, to remind us of our own abilities, to really live up to our great success.
And our greatest potential.
And greatest potential, yeah.
One thing I also admire about you, too, I'm curious what you say when people ask you, how do you do it all? You're a mom, you have an incredible business, you give back a tremendous amount. What do you say to them?
Yeah, this is, you have to surround, well, it takes a village. And, you can't do it alone. I think we're so conditioned, mostly in this country, and as women, that we have to do it all. You know, we need to look beautiful. We need to have success. We need to have families. We need to be a good wife. We need to be all that, good friend, sister. And I think it's impossible to do alone. I don't think anybody who's trying to create a business or have any kind of success in their life should stand alone in that. So surround yourself with great people and reach your hand out. I don't think we should do things alone. It's no fun.
Yeah.
So I have a village around me, and I'm so grateful for all the people that are in my life.
And asking for help is a really hard thing. I know for a great part of my life, it was something that I didn't want to do because I thought that it made me weak.
Yeah.
And I thought that it meant that I couldn't handle it myself. And thankfully, the older I get, a little bit wiser that I get, that I am more and more comfortable asking for help. Because I mean, nothing I do, there's nothing in the company, there's nothing in my life that I've ever accomplished by myself. And it's a lesson that I have to remind myself of every day.
Yeah, and I love that. I mean, I think as a woman, even more so, you know, we have so many roles in life, and to just surround yourself and just let people know, no, I don't do this alone. Don't think you have to do it alone, because it actually stops you from moving forward sometimes.
How do you see that?
It's very daunting.
How do you see that? How do you see it stopping people from moving forward?
Well, you're like, oh, I want to start a business, but oh my God, I have to do this, I have to do that, and I have to balance it all myself. But no, you don't. You know, if you find yourself good help with your children, or you make sure if you start a business, make sure you have, you know, if you can find a partner or find somebody who can help you do it. You cannot do it all. I've had up to 60 employees at one point, store in London, and balancing all of that while having twins. It's a lot, and I encourage all women and men who are trying to incorporate all those aspects in your life to surround yourself with a team, with support, with friends, family, all of that. It's a lot more fun.
Let's talk about mantras. One of my personal mantras is, I got this. I've read that one of yours is, I know I can do this. How important are these positive reminders in your life?
Oh, they are beyond important, because I think we all have those little internal dialogues that constantly tell us, don't do it, you can't do it. And I don't know where they come from, our parents or teachers, wherever we acquire them, but we drag them through our lives. And one of the things that I've learned to do is stop that internal dialogue and say, I can do this. And my dad was a good helper in that. He always said, sure, you can do it. And I hear that voice, and you've got to turn that other voice off and know you can do it.
Yeah.
You can. We all can.
It's really exciting. And speaking of mantras, what I want to talk about next is our collaboration. So on me right now, you will see 3 incredible pieces of jewelry. And I know that it's always been so important to me to have beautiful things that have meaning. Mm-hmm. And below, you're going to be able to see what the meaning is for each of these pieces. And also, if you decide that you'd like one of these pieces, you should know also that a portion will be donated to the Satya Foundation to support children and having opportunities all over the world. Satya, thank you so much for the work that you do, for continuing to be such a powerful force for good and for possibility and for reality and for inspiration for all of us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, Satya and I would love to hear from you. What was the biggest insight that you're taking away from today's video? As always, the best discussions happen after the episode over at marieforleo.com, so go there and leave a comment now. Did you like this video? If so, subscribe to our channel, and we would love if you shared this with your friends. And if you want even more great resources to create a business and life that you love, plus some personal insights from me that I only talk about in email, come on over to marieforleo.com and sign up for email updates. Stay on your game and keep going for your dreams, because the world needs that special gift that only you have. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time on Marie TV. We Italian girls with our hair. Skinetti, like spaghetti. Who's being naughty?